Hello, my name is Ed. We're going to try another amateur anime review. This time it's going to be Burst Angel. I guess the original title is, and I apologize if I say any of these titles or names wrong, um, Bakuretsu Tenshi. It was directed by Koshi Ohata, and it was written by Fumihiko Shimo. Originally aired in 2004, and I think a few years after that, it was released on DVD. It's pretty much a series aimed at that kind of male adolescent lizard brain thing. It's a very visceral series. It's not really deep. It's all about cute babes, guns, robots, cute babes with guns, cute babes with guns who get in the robots, cute babes with guns who get in the robots, and the robots have guns, and there's shootouts, and there's explosions, and everybody goes home happy. You know what I mean? It really doesn't have any sort of like deep emotional content, or it's not really, there's not any sort of social political satire or intellectual subtext or anything like that. It's really just a visceral thing that's done for fun and entertainment's sake. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool to have stuff that's just entertaining for the sake of being entertaining. You know what I mean? So the real question is, does it succeed on that level? And I don't know. I guess I would say kinda it does. There's stuff about it that I like, and then there's stuff about it that I have a problem with. So just to explain the premise a little bit, it's the future in Tokyo, and we follow around this group of girls and young ladies who live in this high tech trailer truck type of thing, and they're kind of like these sort of uh, bounty hunter type people who take on various jobs and whatnot to take down terrorists and bad guys and what have you. And it's kind of suggested that they have connections to some larger organization. The main characters are Joe, who's kind of like the sexy badass. You have Sei, who's the lady who sets up the jobs for them. You have Amy. Amy's a little bit younger, I guess. Maybe she's about 11 or 12 years old, something like that. And then you have Meg, who is kind of the comedy relief slash plot device girl. Um, she's really just there to either say something funny or get captured every other episode. Oh, and you also have um, Kayohi, I'm probably saying that wrong, who's like this young guy who they hire to be their cook. Um, so let's see here. Oh, and sometimes Joe flies around in this giant mecha that they name Django. Now, what's one of the interesting things that I like, the show kind of has this almost sort of futuristic Western subtext to it. Joe kind of comes across as like a gunslinger. She keeps her weapons in holsters that are at her hips. Uh, a lot of the action scenes are staged like gunfights or yeah, I guess that's what I want to say, gunslinger gunfight type things. She wears this scarf that's always flapping in the breeze dramatically. You've got Meg. Meg is dressed most often like a cowgirl, and in the soundtrack every once in a while, the musical cues sound kind of like the soundtrack to like an old spaghetti western or something. And I thought that brought a certain sort of interesting flavor to the series as a whole. The best episodes, I think, were the first half, maybe the first handful of episodes. I think they're very quickly paced. I think the animation is well done, and it works on the level that it's supposed to work on. It's very kinetic. You got your cute girls, you got your cool action scenes, you got your gunfights, and it satisfies on that level. I think it kind of starts to fall off maybe about halfway through the series, where just it's just my opinion, but the animation takes a serious drop in quality. I mean, all of a sudden, some of the animation looks really stiff and kind of rushed, And I don't know if maybe it got sent to some of those episodes were done at a different animation studio. I don't know. Things look just a little bit different. Certain things look slightly off. Oh, and there's one episode right around that time, or maybe a couple episodes, where the fan service just gets a little bit out of control, for me anyway. I mean, it's cool. I get it. Hot chicks, hot babes, everything's cool. That's part of what the series is about. But like I said, halfway through, I think they just went a little bit overboard. It's like you're watching this series and you're like, oh my god, did so and so's breast double in size? All of a sudden, a couple of characters' suits get more revealing than they've been before, and it's just so obvious that the pandering I just think crossed the line where it goes from being cute and hot and sexy to just kind of being dumb. You know what I mean? I think the later episodes kind of pick up in quality a little bit. The animation quality picks up a little bit, and you start to get a little bit more of an overarching storyline. You get to learn more about Joe and her background, as well as the background of a couple of the characters. There seems to be this sort of plot involving, I guess, kind of a government corruption, military takeover type thing. But it gets a little bit more interesting, and like I said, the animation quality picks up again. Let's see here. There was extra. Now the original series, I guess, went 23 episodes, and then they did a 24th episode, which I actually liked. It was actually a flashback episode that mostly concentrated on Meg and Joe in, I guess, New York or whatever. And once again, the episode isn't really deep, where they have to try to catch some killer or whatever who's walking around the streets. But it works for what it is. You get some actually really decent characterization, I thought. And one thing, even though I kind of look at Meg and like I said, she was just there to be captured in a lot of the episodes, and she's kind of, like I said, plot device person. I actually really did like the way they established the friendship slash relationship between Meg and Joe, where you have Joe, who's the person who's a little bit more reserved as far as showing her emotions, versus Meg, who's all lets it all hang out and so on and so forth. And I actually kind of like that, the dynamic you have between the two characters. Let's see here, and I guess that's it. Overall, overall, I gotta say, if you take the episodes, I'm sorry, if you take the series as a whole, I can only say it's okay. Like I said, if they had kept it up to the quality of the first handful of episodes, those are actually really good. But it drops off halfway through, and then it gets a little bit better towards the end. Oh, I was gonna say the last scene of the very last episode, I also think they kind of dropped the ball. Without giving too much away, I think I see where I think they were trying to go for it, and I think they were trying to hit this kind of, little ambiguous note, but I think they didn't pull it off. So you got an ending that instead of making you going, you got an ending that made you go, oh, come on, you know. But anyway, so yeah, on a whole, I don't know. If I were going to give a rating, the series as a whole, if I was going to give the series as a whole a rating, maybe 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's only because the middle episodes really brought it down for me, you know. If we were going to go the first few episodes, I'd give those 3 stars. Middle episodes would be, 1.5 to 2 stars. And then the last few episodes, I bump it up again, another, 2.5 stars or so. So that's it. So I guess that's it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. Otherwise, thank you very much, and you all have a great day.